Imagine for a moment waking up with a mind that is silent, not empty but silent, free from the endless chatter of what if, should I, and maybe later. Picture yourself moving through your day with an unshakable core of certainty, where every action is decisive, every step is deliberate, and every challenge is met with the calm assurance of a man who knows the outcome is already secured. This isn't arrogance, it's alignment. It is the internal state of every great builder, leader, and warrior who ever shaped reality to his will. It is the feeling of absolute command over your own mental kingdom. But for too many men, that vision feels like a distant fiction, the reality. Today is a battlefield of the mind, and the enemy is winning. The enemy is an invisible virus called doubt. It's the hesitation that kills momentum before it's born. It's the overthinking that turns a clear path into a labyrinth of confusion. It's the quiet voice of self-sabotage that convinces you to wait for a sign, for the perfect moment, for a guarantee that will never come, leaving you frozen on the battlefield of your own potential. This transmission is the antidote. This is not a collection of inspiring ideas. It is a live code designed to perform a surgical strike on the core programming of doubt. You are about to receive the manual. To not just manage doubt, but to completely annihilate it and install a new, superior operating system in its place. The promise is this: to reforge your mind into a fortress of conviction, empowering you to act with the authority and certainty of the man you were always meant to become. If you are committed to ending the civil war in your mind and seizing command of your life, then your training starts with a single decisive action. Subscribe to this channel now. This is not a subscription. It is a contract with yourself, a commitment to mastering the codes of mental dominance. Your reprogramming has already begun. You recognize the feeling. It's a ghost that lives inside your skull, a cold dread that whispers just as you're about to act. This is the architecture of doubt, built brick by brick with every past hesitation. It has convinced you that caution is wisdom, when in reality it is a cage. You feel its grip when you delay sending that email, making that call, or starting that project. It's a physical sensation, a tightening in your chest, a fog in your mind. This paralysis is not a sign of weakness. It's the symptom of a deeply installed program, a viral code that has taken root in your subconscious. This is not your fault, but it is your responsibility. That hesitation is a feedback loop, a neural pathway you have allowed to become a superhighway. Each time you permit doubt to win, you strengthen its signal. You are training your mind to expect failure, to seek safety over growth, to choose the familiar prison over the chaotic freedom of the unknown. The world does not respond to your desires. It responds to your dominant frequency, and right now, the frequency of doubt is drowning out the signal of your own ambition, sabotaging your mission from the inside. The time for negotiation is over. You will now interrupt this pattern with force. The fundamental law of the mind is this: only one thought can be dominant at any given time. Doubt and faith cannot occupy the same throne. You must therefore starve the virus and feed the king. This is not a gentle process of self-discovery. It is a hostile takeover of your own mental territory. You will choose with deliberate violence to install a new dominant thought, a thought of absolute, unshakable certainty. This new thought, this new king, is the principle of inevitable success. Henry Ford did not hope for a world with automobiles. He operated from a mental reality where it was already a fact. He installed a dominant vision so powerful it starved all competing thoughts of doubt and ridicule. His mind became a singular, focused transmitter, broadcasting one reality. This is your task now, to build a mental image of your victory so potent, so vivid, that it becomes the only signal your subconscious can receive, making all other possibilities irrelevant noise. The strategy is simple and brutal. You will define the one single outcome you command for your life. You will write it down, you will read it, you will see it, you will feel it. You will make this vision the first thing you see in the morning and the last thing you see at night. You are to become obsessed with this reality. You are no longer a man who hopes to succeed. You are a man who is simply walking the path toward an already guaranteed outcome. This is the law of dominance. It is the law of kings. This law transforms your entire being. Your posture changes. Your voice deepens. Your decisions become swift and clean. You are not faking it. You are aligning with a pre-decided truth. You are the man who acts from a place of victory. You are the commander who knows the war is already won and is now simply executing the necessary maneuvers. Your mind is no longer a battlefield. It is a command center, and you are in absolute control. This certainty becomes a magnetic force, bending reality to its will. Now we install this code, we seal it into your very identity. It's time for you to give the order. Stand up, take a deep breath, repeat these words out loud, not as a request, but as a declaration of fact. Feel the vibration in your chest. Let the command echo through your entire being. Ready? Declare it. I am the sole commander of my mind. My dominant thought is victory. I execute with absolute certainty. Gratitude is the frequency of received success. Feel a surge of gratitude right now, not for what you have, but for the man you have just become. Gratitude for the unshakable certainty that now fuels you. This feeling of thankfulness for an outcome already achieved is the ultimate confirmation to the universe that your dominant thought is now law. You are grateful because it is already done. This is the faith of a master builder, the gratitude for a skyscraper that still only exists as a blueprint in his mind. Your order of execution for the next 24 hours is this. Identify the single biggest area in your life where doubt has been the dominant thought. Write down the opposite, victorious outcome as a present tense statement. For example, my business is thriving and expanding, not I hope my business will grow. Place this statement where you will see it constantly, every time you see it. You will stop, read it, and feel the certainty of its truth. This is your first drill. You have made a commitment. You have declared war on the weakness within. This isn't just a mental exercise. It is the forging of your new self. By taking this small, disciplined action, you are reinforcing the new neural pathway. You are proving to yourself that you are a man of command, a man who follows through. The old you would have hesitated, the new you executes. This is your new standard. This is the foundation upon which your new empire will be built. Master this law, and you master your destiny. Let the doubt of others fuel your resolve. Let their hesitation be a reminder of the prison you have just escaped. You are now operating on a different plane, governed by a higher law, the law of dominance. Welcome to the command center. There is no going back. That voice of doubt you hear is not you. It is a recording, a program installed without your permission, playing on a loop since childhood. It was recorded from the fears of your parents, the skepticism of your teachers, the failures of your peers. It says, you're not smart enough, you don't have what it takes, who are you to try? It's a ghost haunting your machine, an echo from a past that no longer serves you. This internal dialogue is the most powerful force shaping your life. And you have allowed it to be a script written by cowards and critics. The result is a man at war with himself. You set a goal, and your own mind provides 1,000 reasons why it won't work. You build momentum, and your internal saboteur cuts the fuel line. This is the deepest form of self-betrayal. You are poisoning your own well, repeating mantras of scarcity and limitation until your subconscious mind, the loyal and non-judgmental servant, accepts them as commands. It then diligently works to create a reality that matches your internal toxic blueprint. Your life is a printout of your most repeated thoughts. This ends now. You will seize control of the programming. You will become the master programmer. The tool for this is autosuggestion, but not the way you've heard it. This is not about reciting flimsy affirmations in the mirror. This is about injecting new, potent code directly into your subconscious with the force of absolute conviction and the fire of raw emotion. The subconscious does not understand jokes. It only understands commands charged with feeling. A weak suggestion is ignored. A powerful command is executed without question. This is the secret every great leader understood. They knew that repetition charged with faith becomes physical reality. Napoleon Hill tells the story of his own son, born without ears, whom doctors declared would be deaf and mute for life. Hill refused to accept this verdict. Day after day, he flooded his son's mind and his own with the absolute, unwavering belief that his son would hear. He was programming a new reality against all evidence, and his son, Blair Hill, did not just learn to hear. He thrived, becoming an inspiration. He reprogrammed reality. You will now become a master of this force. You will treat your mind as a sacred space, and you will become ruthlessly disciplined about what you allow to be planted there. You will stop passively consuming the negative suggestions of the world, the news, the complaining of others, your own old fears. You will actively, aggressively plant the seeds of the reality you command. This is not a part-time job. It is the full-time obsession of a man forging a new destiny from the inside out. Your new protocol is to speak your victory into existence. You will create powerful, emotional, present tense statements about who you are and what you are building. I am a magnetic force for success. I execute my goals with flawless precision. My mind is a fortress of unshakable discipline. You will say these not as hopes, but as reports on a reality that is already unfolding. Emotion is the electricity. That makes the command live. Feel the power. Feel the truth of it. This is the moment of installation. This is where the code becomes part of the operating system. Prepare yourself. This is not a request. It is an order to your own soul. Repeat this command out loud. Let it be the new recording that overwrites the old fearful ghost. Ready? Speak. My word is law. I am programming my reality now. I am the architect of my fate. Now connect this to gratitude. Be grateful for the power of your own voice. Be thankful for the obedient, powerful servant that is your subconscious mind now receiving its true, potent commands from its rightful master. Feel gratitude for the old programs being deleted, for the mental chains turning to dust. This gratitude solidifies the new code. It tells the universe, the new program is running. Thank you for the successful installation. Your order of execution for the next 24 hours. Choose one core limiting belief that has haunted you. Write it down. Now write its powerful, positive opposite as an I am statement. For example, if the belief is I'm not good at making money, the new code is I am a magnet for wealth and opportunity. You will set an alarm to go off 3 times today. When it rings, you will stop what you are doing, close your eyes, and repeat your new command 10 times with intense feeling. This is your reprogramming drill. You are no longer a victim of your past programming. You are the commander of your present and the architect of your future. This is not about thinking positive. This is about disciplined mental warfare. You are actively overwriting enemy code. Every time you perform this drill, you are strengthening the new neural pathway. You are making your new identity the default setting. The man who was once controlled by a recording is now the one speaking the commands. This is a fundamental power you possess. It has been dormant for too long. Now you have awakened it. You sit relentlessly. You sit without mercy. Guard the gates of your mind. Feed it only with commands that align with the empire you are building. The words you repeat to yourself in private will determine the victories you experience in public. You have been given the key. Now use it to unlock every door. The old world was built on suggestions you passively accepted. The new world will be built on the commands you actively declare. This is the power of autosuggestion when wielded by a king. It is the science of turning spirit into matter, thought into empire. Master this, and there is nothing you cannot become, nothing you cannot achieve. Your new script is written. Now live it. You know this place well. It is the gray, silent purgatory of indecision. You stand between 2 doors, analyzing, weighing, calculating, until you are paralyzed by the sheer volume of possibilities. It feels like responsible thought, but it is a subtle form of torture. Each moment spent in this limbo drains your power, bleeds your life force, and dissolves your will into a useless fog. This hesitation is not a state of rest. It is an active state of self-sabotage, a slow-motion surrender broadcast to the universe, telling it that you are not in command, that you are waiting for permission. This is the breeding ground of the doubt virus. It thrives in the space between thought and action, whispering that you need more information, more time, a clearer sign. It presents the fear of making the wrong choice as a catastrophic, irreversible event, and so, to avoid the risk of being wrong, you choose the certainty of nothingness. You stand still, believing you are being safe while your potential withers. On the vine, this is the great lie, that inaction is safer than a flawed action. Inaction is a decision in itself. It is the decision to fail by default. This is not who you are. This is a behavioral addiction. You have trained your mind to seek external validation for internal choices. You are waiting for the world to give you a guarantee before you are willing to commit your own power. This ends now. We are going to sever this dependency with a clean, sharp blade. We are going to arm you with a weapon so powerful it can carve reality from the stone of raw possibility. This weapon is not complex. It is simple, brutal, and final. It is the power of a true decision in the way a commander makes it is not a guess. It is a verdict. It is an act of creation. The word decide comes from the Latin decidere, which means to cut off. When you truly decide, you cut off all other possibilities. You burn the ships. You close the door. On retreat, you are not hoping the path will be right. You are declaring with the full force of your will that this is now the right path because you have chosen it. This is the ultimate act of taking responsibility. This is the source of all real-world power. The universe does not reward contemplation. It rewards conviction. It cannot act on a fuzzy, hesitant signal. A mind filled with maybes and what-ifs emits a chaotic frequency that attracts only more confusion and more obstacles. But a mind that has made a firm, unequivocal decision emits a clear, sharp, penetrating signal. It is a command that organizes the chaos, that aligns resources, and that forces open doors that were previously invisible. Clarity of decision is a force of nature. It is the difference between a flashlight and a laser. Consider the immense pressure on Abraham Lincoln during the darkest days of the Civil War. He was surrounded by conflicting advice, rampant doubt, and the very real possibility of a nation tearing itself apart forever. He did not have a crystal ball. He did not have guarantees. What he had was the crushing burden of decision. When he chose to issue the Emancipation Proclamation, it was not a popular or easy choice. It was a definitive, world-altering decision. He cut off the possibility of a different future and in doing so commanded a new one into existence. His power was forged in the fire of decisive action, not in the comfort of consensus. You will now install this power. You are no longer a man who weighs options endlessly. You are a man who renders verdicts. You are the judge. You are the jury. Your will is the gavel that ends the debate and initiates the action. You do not ask for signs. You create them with the force of your choice. You understand that a wrong decision acted upon with conviction can be corrected, but that indecision is a terminal illness for which there is no cure but the blade of choice. You are the blade. This is the installation of your new identity. You are the eye of the storm. While others are tossed by the winds of uncertainty, you are the calm, solid center of command. You thrive on the pressure of choice, knowing it is the crucible where your will is tested and your strength is proven. You welcome the burden of decision, for it is the very tool you use to shape your destiny. This is not arrogance. It is the quiet, profound confidence of a man who trusts himself to navigate the consequences of his own commands. It is time to make this identity your own, to seal this code within your soul. This is your declaration of command over the chaos. Take a breath, stand in your power, and give the order to your subconscious mind. Repeat this out loud, with the finality of a judge passing sentence. Let there be no doubt in your voice. Ready. Declare I am the verdict. I forge certainty with my decision. My will is the only sign I need. Now feel gratitude for this newfound power. Be thankful for the silence in your mind, the silence that comes after a decision is made. Be grateful for the clean, sharp feeling of a closed door, the freedom that comes from cutting away the dead weight of optionality. This gratitude affirms your power. It is an acknowledgement that you are the source of your own clarity, the master of your own path. You are thankful for the strength to choose, which is the strength to create. Your order of execution for the next 24 hours is this. Find one decision you have been postponing for more than a week. It does not matter how big or small. Write it down. You will now give yourself 60 seconds. In that single minute, you will make the final choice. Write it down. Then, before another 60 seconds pass, you will take one single physical action to set that decision in motion. Send the text, make the purchase, throw the junk food in the trash, execute one small, irreversible act. That is your drill. You have just activated a dormant muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it becomes. Indecision is a pattern that starves on the fuel of swift action. You have just starved it. You have fed the commander. This is the practice. It is the ritual of becoming the man who is trusted, first by himself, and then by the world, because his word is his bond and his decision is his law. The man of indecision is a ghost. The man of decision is a king. Doubt builds its prison with the bricks of what is visible. It points to your current bank account, your current address, your current failures, and tells you this is reality. This is all there is. It forces you to live in a world defined entirely by past data, a feedback loop of yesterday's limitations. It is a purely logical and therefore utterly powerless way of seeing the world. This is why so many intelligent men are trapped. They have been taught to trust only what they can measure, and so they cannot see the vast unbuilt kingdom that lies just beyond their five senses. This worship of the real world is a mental trap. It makes you a spectator of your life, a reactor to circumstances, rather than the primary creative force within it. You look at your problems and see them as solid, permanent walls. You see your goals and perceive them as distant, hazy fantasies. The virus of doubt has blinded you to the most powerful tool of creation you possess. It has convinced you that imagination is for children and dreamers, not for builders and kings. And so you remain locked in a world you did not consciously choose. This ends today. We are breaking you out of this sensory prison. You will learn that the so-called real world is nothing more than the physical manifestation of what was once imagined with burning intensity. Every empire, every skyscraper, every technological marvel was first a complete, detailed, and emotionally charged reality inside a single human mind before it was ever a fact in the world. The imagination is not an escape from reality. It is the forge where reality is hammered into shape. It is the architect's office of the universe. The Wright brothers did not see a man-made machine flying and then decide to build one. They saw it with perfect clarity in the workshop of their minds, against all evidence, against all ridicule. They lived in an internal reality where human flight was an established fact, and their work was simply the process of making the external world catch up to their sustained vision. They were not guessing. They were building from a blueprint that only they could see. This is the power you have been taught to ignore. This is the power you will now reclaim. You will now treat your imagination not as a playground, but as a military grade simulator. It is your training ground. It is where you will live, in advance, the reality you are commanding into existence. You will spend dedicated time each day seeing, feeling, and experiencing your victory as if it is happening now. You will see the world from the eyes of the man you are becoming. You will feel the confidence, the power, the satisfaction. You will make this imagined reality more real, more vivid, and more compelling than your current circumstances. This is not idle daydreaming. This is a disciplined, focused act of creation. You are generating the emotional and neurological signature of your future self in the present moment. Your subconscious mind cannot tell the difference between a real experience and an intensely imagined one. By repeatedly creating this state, you are programming your subconscious with the blueprint of your desired reality. It will then begin to move you, guide you, and change your perception to align with that inevitable outcome. You will start to see opportunities you were blind to before. It is time to ignite the forge. This is the command that turns on the fires of creation within you. Your mind is the laboratory. Your vision is the raw material. Your conviction is the heat. Stand now and give the order that awakens the master builder inside. Repeat this declaration out loud. Feel the creative power surging through you. Ready? Declare it. I am the architect of worlds. My imagination is the forge of my reality. WHATIC in my mind, I build with my hands. Now connect this to gratitude. Be grateful for this infinite workshop within you. Be thankful for the power to create any reality, to test any future, to live any victory first in the sanctum of your own mind. This gratitude is the final seal on the blueprint. It is the act of approving the final design before construction begins. You are thankful because you have seen the finished product, and you know that it is good. You are grateful for a future you have already inhabited. Your order of execution for the next 24 hours is this: carve out 10 minutes of absolute, uninterrupted solitude. For those 10 minutes, your only task is to live in your desired reality. Do not just see it. Be in it. What does the air smell like? What sounds do you hear? How does your body feel moving with this new level of success and confidence? Engage all your senses. Make the imagined world so real that returning to your current reality feels like waking from a dream. This is your daily simulation drill. You must understand the profound truth of this. The man who lives in his victory mentally before he achieves it physically becomes unstoppable. He is no longer fighting for something he wants. He is acting to align the world with something he already is. His actions carry the weight of that internal reality. He is not seeking confidence. He is radiating it. He is not looking for proof. He is the proof. This is the secret of all great manifestations. Your imagination is your divine inheritance. It is the faculty that separates you from every other creature on this planet. It is the link to the infinite intelligence that Hill spoke of. To neglect it is to live as half a man. To cultivate it is to become a co-creator of your own universe. You have been given the key to the workshop. Now go inside, close the door, and begin to build your world. You have felt this emptiness. It's the hollow feeling that comes after a day of hard work on things that don't matter. It is the quiet exhaustion of a man who is busy but not productive, moving but not advancing. You are adrift on an ocean of other people's priorities, your sails catching whatever wind happens to blow. You fulfill your obligations, you meet your deadlines, but at the core of your being, a question festers like a wound. What is all this for? This is the void where doubt is born. In the absence of a mission, any obstacle seems insurmountable. This lack of a North Star is the most dangerous state for a man. It makes you vulnerable. When adversity strikes, you have no reason to endure it. When criticism comes, you have no cause to defend. Your sacrifices feel like losses, not investments. Doubt becomes your constant companion because you have given it no reason to leave. You question every step because you have no map, no destination. You are a soldier sent to a battlefield with no orders, no objective, and no reason to fight. It is a recipe for slaughter. This is not a lack of ambition. It is a failure of command. You have neglected to give your life its single most critical directive, its definite chief aim. You have allowed your energy, your most precious resource, to be scattered and diluted across a dozen meaningless fronts. A man without a purpose is a force of chaos, easily manipulated, easily broken. But a man with a purpose is a force of nature. He is a directed energy beam that can cut through steel. We will now forge that purpose. We will build your shield. A purpose is not something you gently discover on a spiritual retreat. It is a decision. It is a command you give to your own life. It is the declaration of your grand strategy. You decide what your life will be about. This purpose then becomes the ultimate filter for all your actions, thoughts, and choices. It simplifies the complex. It brings order to the chaos. It is the unwavering why that gives you the strength to bear any how. When your mission is clear, doubt becomes irrelevant noise, a distraction you no longer have time to entertain. This is not theory. It is law. It is the fundamental principle that separates the drifters from the drivers of history, as Napoleon Hill taught. There is a profound difference between wishing for something and being ready to receive it. A purpose, a definite chief aim, is the mechanism that makes you ready. It aligns your thoughts, magnetizes your resources, and tunes your perception to see the path that was always there. It is the shield that makes you impervious to the temptations of the easy road and the whispers of surrender. Consider Edwin C. Barnes, a man who appeared from nowhere with one single, burning, all-consuming purpose: to become the business partner of the great Thomas Edison. He had no money. He had no experience. He didn't even know Edison. To an outside observer, his goal was a laughable fantasy. But his purpose was so definite, so absolute, that it functioned as an impenetrable shield against all doubt and reason. It drove him to a freight train, to Edison's office, and into a menial job, where he waited, ready, when his one chance came. He seized it without a flicker of hesitation because his purpose had already made the decision for him years before. You will now forge your own shield. You are no longer a leaf in the wind. You are a spear thrown with intention at a specific target. You are a man on a mission. This mission is your armor. It protects you from the draining influence of meaningless tasks and purposeless people. It gives you a reason to get up in the morning that has nothing to do with your paycheck and everything to do with your legacy. Every calorie of energy you expend is now an investment in your grand campaign. This is the identity you now assume. You are a man defined by his mission. Your value is not determined by your job title, but by your commitment to your cause. Your actions are deliberate, your focus is sharp, and your resolve is absolute. You move through the world with a quiet intensity that others can feel. They do not need to know the details of your mission. They only need to witness the power of a man who is fully aligned, fully committed, and completely unbreakable because he is serving something larger than himself. Now is the moment to install this code. This is the vow of a warrior to his cause. This is your oath of allegiance to your own highest potential. The words you are about to speak are a contract with your destiny. Stand tall, feel the weight of your new responsibility, and declare your new nature to the world. Ready? Declare it. My purpose is my shield. My mission is my law. I do not drift. I advance. And now feel an immense wave of gratitude. Be grateful for the clarity that purpose brings. Be thankful for the strength it gives you, the resilience it builds within you. This is not just a goal. It is a gift you give to yourself. It is the gift of meaning. Gratitude for your mission transforms the struggle from a burden into a privilege. You are thankful for the weight, for the challenges, because you know they are the very things shaping you into the man worthy of achieving your great purpose. Your order of execution for tonight before you sleep: isolate yourself from all digital noise for 15 minutes. Take a pen and paper. You will answer this one question: what is the one great thing I will achieve, such that my life will have been a profound success? Do not think small. Do not be logical. Write down what stirs your soul, what makes your heart beat faster. This is the first intelligence report from your inner commander. This is the beginning of your mission briefing. You have been given the most powerful defensive weapon in the mental arsenal. A purpose makes a man formidable. It gives him a reason to survive the unsurvivable, to endure the unendurable, to achieve the impossible. While other men are broken by life's storms, you will use them to sail faster towards your destination. Your shield is not physical, it is spiritual, it is absolute, and it will protect you on every step of the journey. Welcome to the life of meaning. You have felt the fire of a new idea. You start with explosive energy, a clear vision, and total commitment. For a day, a week, maybe even a month, you are unstoppable. But then the first real obstacle appears. The results don't come as fast as you expected. The initial excitement fades, replaced by the monotonous grind of daily work. And then the voice of doubt, your old enemy, returns. It says, "This is too hard. It's not working. Maybe you should try something else." And you listen. You stop, the engine stalls. This cycle of starting and stopping is the graveyard of masculine potential. It is a deeply ingrained pattern that trains you on a cellular level to be unreliable. Most importantly, it teaches you that you cannot trust yourself. Every abandoned project, every broken promise to yourself erodes your self-respect and reinforces the identity of a man who quits. Doubt wins not through a single decisive battle, but through this slow, grinding war of attrition, convincing you to give up just before the breakthrough. This is not a failure of motivation. Motivation is a fleeting, unreliable emotion. Relying on it is like trying to build an empire on a foundation of sand. The pattern of quitting is a failure of engineering. You are missing the most critical component of the entire success machine, the engine of perseverance. This is the force that continues to produce power long after the initial spark of emotion has died. It is a system, not a feeling. It is a discipline, not an inspiration. And we will install it now. Perseverance, as taught by the masters, is not blind, stubborn effort. It is intelligent faith in action. It is the natural, inevitable consequence of the codes you have already installed. When you have a dominant mindset, a clear purpose, and a vivid imagination of your victory, perseverance is no longer a struggle. It becomes your default state. You persist not because you are a masochist who enjoys pain, but because you have already seen the end result. The current obstacle is merely a piece of terrain to be navigated, not a reason to abort the mission. This is the mindset that separates the amateur from the professional, the boy from the man. Think of Thomas Edison and his quest for the electric light. He conducted thousands of experiments that failed. A man without a definite purpose would have quit after the 10th or the 100th. He would have let doubt declare the mission impossible. But Edison was not experimenting randomly. He was executing a mission. Each failure was not a failure. It was the successful discovery of a way that did not work, bringing him one step closer to the way that did. His perseverance was the engine running on the fuel of his absolute purpose. You will now reframe every obstacle, every delay, every failure. They are no longer reasons to doubt. They are data. They are tests. They are the fire that burns away your weakness and tempers your resolve into steel. You will learn to welcome the resistance, to smile at the setback, knowing that it is the universe's way of asking, how badly do you really want this? And your relentless, persistent action is your answer. Your answer is, this is not a desire. This is a decision, and it is done. It is time to build and install this engine. This is the command that ensures you will never quit on yourself again. This is the vow that makes you a finisher. Stand up, feel the unshakable foundation beneath your feet. This is the feeling of a man who does not stop. Now give the order that makes this your permanent reality. Ready? Declare it, I am a finisher. Obstacles are my fuel. I do not stop. I do not yield. I persevere until I prevail. Now anchor this with gratitude. Be grateful for the challenges you have faced, for they have been your trainers in disguise. Be thankful for the scars, for they are medals of your resilience. Express gratitude for the mountain in front of you, for you know the man you will become by climbing it. This gratitude transforms the burden of the struggle into the honor of the quest. It reframes persistence from a painful chore into a noble journey. Your order of execution for the next 24 hours. Look at your primary mission. Identify the single most difficult or tedious action you have been avoiding, the one that makes you want to procrastinate. Today, you will dedicate one solid, uninterrupted hour to that task and that task alone. No distractions, no excuses. You will work on it until the timer goes off. When you are done, you will close your eyes and say, that is the price, and I pay it gladly. This is your perseverance drill. You are forging a new reputation with the most important person in your life, yourself. You are becoming a man who can be counted on, a man whose will is stronger than his feelings, a man whose commitment is not dependent on the weather. This is the true source of self-esteem. It is not given to you. It is earned in the lonely hours of disciplined, persistent effort when no one is watching. This is where character is built. Let this code become the rhythm of your life. Action, obstacle, analysis, renewed, intelligent action. This is the relentless beat of the engine of success, while other men ride the roller coaster of motivation and despair. You will be the locomotive moving forward with steady, unstoppable power day after day. They will call you lucky when you reach the destination. You will know it was not luck. It was the law. It was the power of an engine that simply refused to stop. You can have the strongest mindset, the clearest purpose, and an unbreakable will. But if you allow your command center to be infiltrated, you will lose the war. You experience this infiltration every day. It's the casual negativity of a coworker, the fear-mongering of the news, the low-vibration gossip of friends. Each of these inputs is a form of psychic poison, a subtle suggestion designed to weaken your frame, dilute your focus, and introduce the virus of doubt back into your newly fortified mind. You have been taught to be open-minded, which society has twisted to mean unguarded. You let these toxic influences march right through the front gate of your senses and set up camp in your subconscious. Then you wonder why you feel drained, why your conviction wavers, why it's so hard to maintain your peak state. You are like a commander who meticulously plans his strategy by day, only to allow enemy spies to roam his command tent by night. This strategic flaw is costing you everything. Your mind is a fortress. It is the most valuable territory you will ever control. It is not a public park open to any and all visitors. You must become the absolute, ruthless guardian of its gates. This is the final code, the protocol that protects all others. It is the establishment of your mental sovereignty. You will consciously, deliberately, and without apology, choose every single influence you allow into your proximity, from the people you speak to the content you consume, to the very thoughts you permit to take residence. This principle is the reason Napoleon Hill emphasized the mastermind alliance above almost all others. He understood that frequency is contagious. You cannot maintain a vibration of power, success, and certainty if you are constantly surrounded by frequencies of fear, scarcity, and complaint. A mastermind is not a social club. It is a strategic alliance of aligned energies. It is a sealed container where a high-frequency state can be cultivated and amplified, protected from the toxic radiation of the outside world. It is a conscious act of environmental engineering. You will now become a ruthless curator of your own reality. You will conduct an audit of the influences in your life. The friend who only complains, Mute their access, the news that only sells fear. Turn it off, the social media feed that only breeds envy and distraction. Delete it. This is not an act of arrogance. It is an act of profound self-preservation. You are protecting your mission. You are honoring the commitment you made to become a man of power. Your time and attention are your most sacred resources. You will no longer give them away to those who would poison your well, the most important. Environment to control, however, is the one between your own ears. Your internal dialogue is the final gatekeeper. You must stand guard and deny entry to your own negative, self-sabotaging thoughts. When a thought of doubt arises, you will not fight it or analyze it. You will see it for what it is, an enemy. Infiltrator, a ghost from your old programming, and you will deny it entry. You will refuse to give it your attention. You will pivot immediately back to the dominant frequency of your purpose. This is the protocol. It must be installed and run continuously. This is the firewall that protects your new operating system. Prepare to seal the gates of your fortress. This is a declaration of your mental sovereignty. Stand in your power, the undisputed guardian of your mind. Now speak the command that activates the protocol. Ready? Declare it. My mind is a fortress. I am the guardian at the gate. Only that which strengthens my mission is granted entry. I am sovereign. Now anchor this protocol with gratitude. Be grateful for your newfound discernment. Be thankful for the power to choose your reality. Be grateful for the peace and strength that come from a clean, fortified, and focused mind. This gratitude reinforces the walls of your fortress. It acknowledges the sacredness of your mental space and your commitment to keeping it pure. It is the feeling of a king who is grateful for the security and prosperity of his well-guarded kingdom. Your order of execution for the next 24 hours. Perform the influence audit. Identify the top 3 sources of negativity or distraction in your daily life. It could be a person, a website, an app, or a habit. Today, you will take one decisive action to cut off or severely limit your exposure to each of them. Unfollow, mute, delete the app. Replace the habit with reading your mission statement. This is your first act as the guardian of your fortress. It will feel uncomfortable. That is the feeling of you taking back your power. This is the work. This is the discipline of a master. It is the understanding that greatness is not just built through massive action, but also protected through diligent guardianship. You are creating a sealed ecosystem where your best self can thrive, free from contamination. You are building your own personal Sparta, a culture of strength, discipline, and purpose, first in your mind and then in your life. The world will not understand this. They will call you detached or extreme. Let them, they are the masses, tossed about by every headline and every opinion. You are no longer one of them. You are a man on a mission, operating from a fortified command center. Your energy is protected, your focus is absolute, and your success is therefore inevitable. The protocol is active. The fortress is sealed. The king is on the throne. You have now received the 7 core codes of mental command. These are not concepts to be understood. They are protocols to be executed. The law of dominance, the command of autosuggestion, the weapon of decision, the forge of imagination, the shield of purpose, the engine of perseverance, and the fortress protocol. Together, they form a complete operating system for a sovereign man. The man who hesitates, who doubts, who quits, that man is a ghost. His programming has been overwritten. The man who stands here now is a commander, an architect, a king. Your mission does not end here. This is day 1. True transformation is not an event. It is a ritual. It is forged in the discipline of daily practice. You must revisit these codes, not to learn them, but to install them deeper, to make them the very fiber of your being. This is your new identity, and it must be reinforced. Your mind is now fertile soil. Do not let the weeds of your old self grow back. The price of your new life is daily, relentless execution. Your final order for today is this. Your training must become a ritual. Your mission is to return to this transmission. Do not just listen to it. Use it. Let it be the voice of command that calibrates your mind each morning. Before the world has a chance to infect you with its doubt, you will infect yourself with your own certainty. This is your new standard. This is the discipline of a warrior. Your victory is not a hope. It is a scheduled event. This is your command post. Subscribe and report for duty daily. Now go to the comments and declare your new identity. Write, doubt is dead. I am command. And finally, a commander builds other commanders. Share this transmission with one man you know who is ready to execute, not hesitate. Recruit another soldier to this war. Your journey has just begun. The path is clear. The only question left is the one that will define the rest of your life. Will you execute?